World War I Forgotten Anzacs. The Indigenous Army Anzac Day, April 25th, is probably Australia's most important national occasion. It marks the anniversary of the first campaign that led to major casualties for Australian and New Zealand forces during World War I, and commemorates all the conflicts that followed. This year marks the centenary of that first bloody battle on the shores of Gallipoli and will be remembered across the country and in Turkey with special ceremonies and exhibitions. In the third feature in our series on Gallipoli, Saffron Howden for BBC News tells some of the stories of Indigenous Australian soldiers. Line for nearly a century, a tin trunk in a bedroom in remote country New South Wales and SW held the official documents and metal testifying to Richard Norman Kirby's exceptional wartime feats. The Australian soldier was celebrated quietly by his family. His portrait had pride of place in the lounge room of the family home, but the rest of the country knew nothing of his heroism on the battlefields of Gallipoli and France. The dark-skinned, almost 6-foot-tall soldier from near Warren in Central and SW first served on the Gallipoli Peninsula, taking part in a battle that would go down in Australian history and folklore as a founding event for the fledgling nation. He was then hospitalized for diarrhea and typhoid before rejoining his battalion in France in mid-1916. By the time he sustained a gunshot wound to the neck, he had been promoted to Lance Corporal. Not long before the war ended, at Rancourt in the Somme, Kirby rushed a machine gun post single-handedly and, although wounded, managed to hold 2 machine guns and 14 Germans at bay until his comrades joined him. A few hours later, he threw his gun up over the trench, jumped up to follow it, and was shot through the head. The young soldier died 9 days later, on August 28, 1918, at the U.S. Army General Hospital in France.